Action steps. What 10 habits are you going to introduce? It's not necessary to introduce big changes. The usual habit my clients introduce are exercise 3 times a week, focus on the positive, work on your goals, walk by the beach or in the woods, spend more time with your family, eat more vegetables, meet with friends, read 30 minutes a day, spend 15 minutes on alone time a day. It helps to have a visual display, and don't forget to reward yourself for your successes. Start right now by making a list of 10 daily habits you will introduce into your life from today. Chapter 15. Know yourself. Knowing yourself is the beginning of a wisdom. The first step before changing your life is becoming aware of where you are and what's missing. Please take some time to answer the following questions. What are your dreams in life? At the end of your life, what do you think you would most regret not having done for yourself? If time and money were not factors, what would you like to do, be, or have? What motivates you in life? What limits you in life? What have been your biggest wins in the last 12 months? What have been your biggest frustrations in the last 12 months? What do you do to please others? What do you do to please yourself? What do you pretend not to know? What has been the best work that you have done in your life until today? How exactly do you know that this was your best work? How do you see the work you do today in comparison to what you did 5 years ago? What's the relationship between the work you do now and the work you did then? What part of your work do you enjoy the most? What part of your work do you enjoy the least? What activity or thing do you usually postpone? What are you really proud of? How would you describe yourself? What aspect of your behavior do you think you should improve? At this moment in time, how would you describe your commitment level to making your life a success? At this moment in time, how would you describe your general state of well-being, energy, and self-care? At this moment in time, how would you describe how much fun or pleasure you are experiencing in your life? If you could put one fear behind you once and for all, what would it be? In what area of your life do you most want to have a true breakthrough? Evaluate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 is the highest in the following areas: social, work, family, interpersonal. Chapter 16. Know your top 4 values. Effort and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. John F. Kennedy. Let's talk about values, not in a moral or ethical way, but looking at what fuels you and what motivates you. Being clear about knowing your value is one of the most important steps to getting to know yourself better. By knowing your values, you will be able to attract more of what you want in your life. If there is a big difference between the life you are living and your values, this might create suffering and tension. Once you find out what your values are, you will be able to understand yourself and your actions a lot better. When your goals are aligned with your values, you will notice that you achieve them much quicker and hit a lot less resistance. Everything changed for me around 2 years ago when I gained a clear knowledge of my values. I finally knew where the tension and stress at my work and in my life came from, and I could understand my reaction in various situations a lot better. So what is really important to you? Find out what your most important values are that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. From the list of values, you can download it on my webpage for free. Choose 10. You might find that you can group values, then narrow them down to your top 4 values. Also answer the following questions. What is very important in your life? What gives your purpose to your life? What are you usually doing when you experience that feeling of inner peace? What are you doing that is so much fun that you usually lose track of time? Think of some people that you admire. Why do you admire them? What kind of qualities do you admire in them? What activity do you enjoy the most? What kind of moments bring you joy and fulfillment? What can you put up with? Visualization. Take some time, close your eyes and relax. Imagine that it's your 75th birthday. You are strolling around in your house. All your friends and family are present. What would you like the most important person in your life? your best friends, and a family member you say to you, write it down. 1. The most important person in your life says. 2. Your best friend says. 3. Your family member says. Chapter 17. Know your strengths. A winner is someone who recognizes his God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses his skills to accomplish his goals. Larry Bird. You don't have to be good at everything. Focus on your strengths. Remember that what you focus on tends to expand. What are you good at? Time to find out, isn't it? So let's get started. List your top 5 personal qualities and personal strengths below. What are your unique strengths? What are you most proud of? What do you do best? List your most significant personal and professional accomplishment, like what are you most pleased about and proud of having accomplished? List your personal and professional assets. Who do you know? What do you know? What gift do you have? What makes you unique and powerful? Once you know your strengths, it's time to strengthen them, practice them, and concentrate on them. The ones you have and the ones you want. Action step. If you are up for it, send an email to 5 friends or colleagues and ask them what they consider your greatest strength. This can be quite inspiring and a true self-confidence booster. Chapter 18. Honor your past achievement. The more you prize and celebrate your life, the more life there is in life to celebrate. Oprah Winfrey. This is a very important chapter. It's one of my favorite exercises to boost my clients' self-confidence and my own. Its purpose is to empower you and make you aware of what you have already achieved in your life. We are always so centered in the things that don't work so well or what we haven't achieved that we forget what we have already achieved. I'm sure that you have fantastic achievement in your life, and in this chapter, you will become aware of those past successes and use them as a rocket fuel to achieve your goal and future successes. So the big question is, what great things have you achieved in your life so far? You put yourself through college, travel the world, have a great career, have lots of great friends. Maybe you live abroad for a while, all on your own. Or maybe you have overcome a tough childhood and major personal setbacks. Maybe you raised fantastic children. Whatever challenges you have overcome or successes you have achieved, now is the time to look back and celebrate them. Remember the chapters about focus. In this case, it means that the more you remember and acknowledge your past successes, the more confident you will become. And because you are concentrating on successes, you will see more opportunities for success. Make your list, remind yourself of your past successes, give yourself a pat on the shoulder and say to yourself, well done. The important thing is the experience of success. Get into the same state that you were in. See the success once again in your mind. Feel again how it felt then. Action step 1. Write down a list of the biggest successes you have achieved in your life. 2. Read them out loud and allow yourself to feel fantastic for what you have accomplished. Chapter 19. Write down your goals and achieve them. People with clear written goals accomplish for more in a shorter period of time than people without them can ever imagine. Brian Tracy. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Napoleon Hill. The huge majority of us don't have even the slightest idea of where to start to make our dream come true. Most people overestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a year. If you go one step at a time and remain flexible, then over time you can achieve things that you couldn't even imagine before. And the funny thing is, it's not even about reaching the end of goals, it's about the person you become in the process. The journey is more important than the destination. And also in the goal setting. So why write down your goals? Because they will drive you to take action. Having clearly defined goals in your life is crucial to your way towards success and happiness. They are like a GPS system leading the way, but to be led. First of all, you have to know where you want to go. This is so important that entire books are written on the subject of goal setting. I will make it as short as possible. The first step to achieving your dream goals is to put them in writing. I was very skeptical about this until I started writing down my goals, and then I wish I had started 2 decades ago. I became so much more productive and focused that I could hardly believe it. As I said before, for many years I didn't care about goal setting. To be honest, I think it made me feel uncomfortable because committing to goals and writing them down suddenly mean that I could measure what I had achieved and what I did not achieve, and I didn't have the courage to do that. It's important to write down your goals for various reasons. One, when you write them down, you declare it to your mind that out of the $50,000 to 80,000 thoughts you have a day, this one written down is the most important one. 2. You start concentrating and focusing on the activity that brings you closer to your goal. You also start taking better decisions while you are focused on where you want to go, always keeping in mind whether what you are doing in this moment is really the best use of your time. 3. Having a look at your written goals every day forces you to act and helps you to prioritize your action for the day by asking yourself questions such as, in this moment, is doing what I am doing bringing me closer to my goals? Before starting the change process, you have to be clear about your goals, then break them down into small achievable action steps and make a list of all the steps that you will take to get there. Calculate how long it will take you. Don't forget to set a deadline for each action, steps, and goal. Don't worry if you don't reach the goal by the exact date you set. It's just a way of focusing on the goal and creating a sense of urgency. One of my favorite quotes from my coaching training is, if you put a date on a dream, it becomes a goal. So it's go time for you now. In the following exercise, I want you to write down what you want your life to look like in 10 years. When you write it down, I want you to write down what you want, not what you think is possible. So go big. There are no limit to your imagination. The answer you write here are the directions in which your life is headed. Create a clear vision of your goal in your mind. See yourself as already having achieved the goal. How does it feel? How does it look? How does it sound? How does it smell? The goals have to be yours, specific, started positively, and you have to commit to them. Another important point when pursuing your goal, reward yourself for the effort put in and not just for the result. Self-punishment is not allowed. Keep in mind that you are much farther than you were a week or a month ago. Other useful tips that enhance your goal-setting journey. Put a little card with your goal written on it in your wallet and reconnect 4 and to 5 times daily. It's very beneficial to have a to-do list. Put your action steps on it, as well as the time it takes to do the task and put the deadlines for each task. Balance your goal like physical, economic, social, professional, family, and spiritual. Exercise 1. What do you want your life to look like in 10 years? There are no limits. Go big. 2. What do you have to have achieved in 5 years to get closer to your goal in 10 years? 3. What do you have to achieve in 1 year to get closer to your goal in 5 years? 4. What do you have to achieve in 3 months to get closer to your 1 year goal? 5. What are the things that you can do now to reach your 3 months goal? Action step. Write down at least 3 things and take actions. Chapter 20. Next, I take rejection as someone blowing a bugle in my ear to wake up and get going rather than retreat. Sylvester Stallone, another one of the biggest fears that we have is the fear of rejection. We don't ask the girl for a dance because we fear rejection. We don't send a CV because we fear rejection. We don't even ask for the upgrade to business class or the best table in the restaurant because we fear rejection. To reach your goals in life, you will have to learn how to handle rejections. It's a part of life, and to overcome it, you have to become aware of that. Same as failure, it's only a concept in your mind. The most successful people are not much different from you. They are just better at handling rejection. Know that something is not it. On your way to your goals, you will probably have to face rejection many times. Just don't give up. And above all, don't take rejection personally. Think about it. If you ask someone out and he or she does not want to go out with you, actually nothing has changed. He or she was not going out with you before and she is not going out with you now. Your situation is the same. Rejection is not the problem, it's the inner dialogue you start after being rejected that is the problem. I know I can't do it, I know I'm not good. This is to go on. The most successful salesman's goal is to hear 100 no's a day because they know that if they hear 100 no's, there will also be some. Yes, it's a numbers game. The most successful Don Juans of my friends are the ones who dealt with the no's the best. They know what if they talk to 25 girls a night, eventually there will be no or someone who will have a drink with them. Others give up after hearing the 2 or 3 no's. Just be prepared to get rejected many times on your way to success. The secret is to not just give up. When somebody tells you no thanks, you think next. Did you know that Sylvester Stallone's script for the movie Rocky was rejected over 70 times? Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen's Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected 130 times, and that Canfield was actually laughed at when he said that he wanted to sell 1 million books. His editor told him he would be lucky to sell 20,000. Well, the first book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, sold 8 million copies. The whole series about 500 million. Even J.K. Rowling Harry Potter was rejected 12 times. Answer the following questions. What are you taking away from this chapter? How will you deal with the rejection from now on? 21. Avoid energy robbers. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Benjamin Franklin. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. Aristotle. Your energy is crucial for boosting you toward your goals and happiness. There are some things in your life that drain your energy, and then there are things that add energy. Don't underestimate the importance of energy and keep it up. In my coaching processes, we put a lot of emphasis on activity that bring energy and cut loose things that drain energy out of my client's life. When you operate a low energy, you don't feel good, you are not happy, you send out low vibes, and chances are that you will attract what you are sending. Stop doing or exposing yourself to things that drain your energy, like unhealthy eating habits, alcohol, drugs, caffeine, sugar, tobacco, lack of exercise, negativity, sarcasm, unfocused goals, the news, the tabloid newspaper, among others. All these things drain your energy, and beware of the energy vampires. Amongst your colleagues, friends, and even family, why would you spend time with people that only drain you? Become very selfish on how you manage your energy. Eliminate all distractions. Finish your unfinished business. Work on your toleration. Say goodbye to all energy-robbing people and relationships. Questions. What are the energy robbers in your life? What will you do about it? Chapter 22. Manage your time. There is nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. Peter F. Drucker. Do you work lots of overtime and still don't have time for everything you need to do? Are you one of those people that would love to have 28 hours in a day? Well, unfortunately, you also have 24 hours like everybody else on this planet. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot. There is no such a thing as time management. You can't manage time. What you can do is use your time wisely and manage your priorities. Everyone who comes to me and most of my friends say, I don't have time to blah blah blah, fill in the blank. The fastest way to gain time is to watch a 1 hour less of TV every day. That's 365 hours a year, which equal to 28 hours a month. What would you do with 7 extra hours a week? Another trick to gain more time is getting up earlier. Set priorities and choose what activity to invest your time in. Set clear rules about when you are available and when you are not available, and don't let other people steal your time. The funny thing is, the more you value your time, the more you will have of it, because people will also value your time. If you allow people to interrupt you all the time, you are essentially showing them that your time is not very valuable, in which case you will not be able to work effectively, no matter how important or many hours you work. Recent studies have found out that each 5 minutes interruption at work costs you 12 minutes because your brain needs 7 minutes to refocus. How many interruptions do you have per day? 10? 12? Or more, imagine how much time you can gain back when you decrease the number of interruptions. Every 3-minute interruption costs you 10 minutes. Let's say you get interrupted 12 times in one working day. 2 hours count. In a month, that's like having an extra week. Don't let employee, friends, or client interrupt you. Set those clear rules now. Another big time robber is social media and email. Setting fixed times for your social media activity and checking email is another means to gain a lot of time. I started gaining a lot of time at work when I learned to say no. My personal number one time saving technique is taking 30 to 60 minutes on Sunday to plan my week ahead. I put my personal and professional goals for every week in my Excel sheet, and don't forget to schedule in some free time. Relaxation time like power naps, reading, meditation, and etc. And some buffer time for emergencies too. I also take 15 minutes every day to plan my next day. In this way, I give my subconscious mind a chance to work on it already while I sleep. This work, when I start the next day, I don't have to think much, I just go to work. Some more time saving tips. Make a to-do list with the date and time the task takes. Limit your phone calls to 5 minutes per call. Be aware of the result you want for each call that you make. Work against time and you will get your work done faster. Set alarm clock. Write 5 things you want for the next day each evening and list them in order of priority. Create block of time, 90 minutes block. Track your time. Take a look at how you are currently using your time by tracking your daily activities. Do the unpleasant things first. Stop being busy and go for results. Be careful with the following time robbers. Lack of information for completing tasks. You do everything yourself. Like, is delegating an option? You get distracted easily, focus and set boundaries. Your phone calls are too long. Put a 5 minutes limit. You spend a lot of time in searching for files. Get organized. You keep doing things the same way and don't realize that there could be more efficient way of doing it. You think you have to be reachable all the time and everywhere? Really? So what are you going to do next? Will you insist on the excuse that you have no time? Or will you start making time with one little thing at a time and experience the change for yourself? What are you going to do? Remember, it's all about decisions and habits. Action step. Write down 5 things you will start doing now. Chapter 23. Start to get organized. Organizing is what you do before you do something, so that when you do it, it's not all mixed up. A. Milne. For every minute spent organizing, an hour is earned. Anonymous. Are you too busy to get organized? You are surrounded by a mountain of paper and have post-its all over your table, and you feel you are really busy, but you just can't breathe and you just can't handle your work even if you do extra time. Then read closely now, because I am especially talking to you. It's not that you are too busy to get organized, it's because you are not organized that you are so busy. And to make it worse, being busy does not mean that you are effective. Just because you have the messiest table in the office does not mean you are the one who works hardest. There are studies that today's executives spend between 30% and 50% of their time searching for better work. Can you believe that? So, my overhand worker, go on reading and try out these little tips as they can change your life. I have been there and I turned it around using the little tips below. Spend the first 15 minutes of your working day prioritizing what to do. Spend 1 hour a week for organizing or filling paper. Spend 15 minutes a day throwing away papers and clearing away your desk. Spend the last 15 minutes of your working day to go through your tasks for tomorrow. What's important? What's urgent? Use your email inbox as a to-do list. Tasks solved get achieved and tasks unsolved stay in the inbox. If there are any emails and tasks that you can do in less than 5 minutes, always do them right away. Always. Don't accept any new tasks until you are in control. Do the job right in the first time so that it doesn't come back to haunt you and cost you more the time to later. Do you remember that typical college who always completed his work fast, but not truly, and then during every step of the process you had to go back to him for more information? Instead of doing it, well, one time with all of the correct documentation, which takes 15 minutes, he rushed it in 5 minutes, and later you had to go back to him 3 more times, thus losing another 30 minutes. So instead of 15 minutes, he actually took 35 minutes to complete the task, do it right the first time. Like everything else in this book, saying that won't work for me does not count as an excuse. Try it for at least 2 weeks, and if it still does not work for you, write me an email and complain to me. Action step. Which of the steps will you try first? Chapter 24. Say no to them and say yes to yourself. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. Bill Cosby. Here is another one of these small exercises that improved my life a lot. When I stopped wanting to please others and started being myself, a lot of it came with the word no. Every time you say no, when you mean no, you are actually say yes to yourself. Before learning to say no, I often went out with my friends, although I didn't want to, or went on to even I didn't enjoy. The result was I was there physically, but mentally I was in another place, and honestly I was not the best company. When I decided that the yes is a yes and no is a no, I felt much better. I went out less with my friends, and telling them no was hard at the beginning, but the result was that when I was with my friends, I was fully there. In my work life, the impact was even bigger. When I started working in Spain, I wanted to be a good college and said yes to every favor I was asked for. Guess what happened? I ended up being totally overwhelmed work because I was asked for a lot of favors. I usually work nobody else wanted to do. It took me a while to put my foot down, but finally I said enough. From then on, my first answer to all questions for favors was no. Sorry, can't do it. Very busy at the moment. By starting to say no often, I improved my work life a lot and actually freed up a lot of time. But make sure you say no without feeling guilty. You can explain to the person in questions that it's not anything personal against them, but for your own well-being. I could still do my college a favor, but only if I had enough time and decided to. Suddenly I was in the driver's seat. If I was up for it, I would mention to the college in a question that I'm only doing a favor. In no case do I want to end up doing the job. Selfish? Yes, but keep in mind who the most important person in your life is. That's right, you. You are the most important person in your life. You have to be well only if you are you well yourself. You can be well toward others, and from this level you can contribute to others, but first be well yourself. You can be always buy some time and say maybe at first until you come to definite decision. Life gets a lot of easier if you start saying no. Ask yourself the following questions. Whose life are you living? Are you living your own life or trying to please and fulfill the expectation of others? Who and what are you going to say no to starting now? Action step. Make a list of things that you will stop doing. Chapter 25. Get up early, sleep less. It's well to be up before daybreak for such a habit contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. Aristotle, the first benefit of getting up an hour earlier is that you gain around 365 hours per year. 365? Who said, I don't have time? When clients come to me telling me that they don't have time, the first thing I ask them is how many hours of TV they watching. This usually provides them with the time they need. To those who stop watching TV and still don't have enough time, and I ask them to get up 1 hour earlier. There is a very special energy in the morning hours before sunrise. Ever since I started getting up around 5:30 or 6 o'clock, my life changed completely. I'm much more calm and relaxed and don't start the day already running around stress. I usually go running a half an hour before the sun rises so that on my way back I see the sun rising out of the Mediterranean Sea. This is absolutely mind-boggling and already puts me in a state of absolute happiness. I am much more calm and relaxed and don't start the day already running around stress. I usually go running half an hour before the sun rises so that on my way back I see the sun rising out of the Mediterranean Sea. This is absolutely mind-boggling and already puts me in a state of absolute happiness. And for those of you who don't live next to the sea, a sunrise out of fields, forests, or even a big city is just as exciting. Just go watch it and let me know. Starting your day like this is very beneficial for your happiness and peace of mind. Another great advantage of getting up earlier is that it reinforces self-discipline and you will gain self-respect. Many successful leaders were and still are members of the early bird club. For example, Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Barack Obama, and many more. It's scientifically proven that 6 hours should be enough sleep per night paired with a 30 to 60 minutes power nap in the afternoon. Your freshness depends on the quality of your sleep, not on the quantity. You have to try and figure out for yourself how many hours of sleep you need to feel refreshed. But you should definitely give it a try. It will improve your quality of life a lot. Don't forget that getting up early is a new habit, so give it some time and don't give up after the first week. If you still feel tired after getting up earlier, the habit needs at least 3 to 4 weeks to kick in. If you absolutely can't get up 1 hour earlier, try half an hour. And don't forget that your attitude, thoughts, and belief about getting up an hour earlier play a big role too. To me, it was always intriguing how it was so difficult for me to get up at 6:45 is to go to work after 7 or 8 hours of sleep. But before every vacation, I usually slept 4 hours and woke up before the alarm clock went off, and I was totally refreshed and energized. In the end, getting up or hitting the snooze button is a decision you make. It's up to you. How important is better a lifestyle and more time for you? Chapter 26. Avoid the mass media. A democratic civilization will save itself only if it makes the language of the image into a stimulus for critical reflection, not an invitation for hypnosis. Umberto Eco, The News in Glorified Gossip. Moko Kohama, Moko Koana, you want to make fast progress? Don't you? Here is one tip that will set free a lot of energy and time. How many hours do you spend in front of the box every day? The average American spends 4 to 5 hours a day in front of the TV. The same goes for Europeans, that's between 28 and 35 hours in front of the TV, and same goes for Europeans. Uh, that's between 35 hours a week. Boom, that's a lot of time you can gain right there. Apart from gaining time, there is an even more beneficial side effect. TV is one of the biggest energy drainers, if not the number one. Do you ever feel renewed or re-energized after watching TV? Stop watching the news, or better still turn off your television. Why would you expose yourself to so much negativity? Don't expose yourself to too much of the garbage that out there is on TV. Substitute your habit of watching TV for a healthier habit like taking a walk, spending more time with your family, or reading a good book. I stopped watching the news many years ago when I became aware that while on a train to work, I got upset over things heard and seen on the morning news, and I thought to myself, I can go to my stressful workplace being already stressed simply because of what politician A said or banker B did, or because there is a war in C. Just 1 week after stopping watching the news, I felt a lot better. Don't believe me? Just try it for yourself. Don't watch the news for a week and see how you feel. I'm not telling you to become ignorant. Even though here in Spain they say the ignorant is the happiest person in the village, you can still read the newspaper. I would recommend the headlines only. You will still be up to date with the important stuff because your family, friends, and colleagues will keep you updated. Just choose and be selective how much garbage you expose your mind to. If you need more reasons to stop watching television, read one of the great books that are out there about how the media manipulates us and how nearly everything is fake. Control the information that you are exposed to. Make sure it adds to your life instead of watching trash TV. Watch a documentary or a comedy instead of listening to the news. In your car, listen to an audiobook or motivational CDs. Chapter 27. Do you have to or do you choose to? It's choice, not change, that determines your destiny. Jean Nideh. Do you have many things in your life that you should or have to do, but never do? How many shoulds do you have in your life? Should you exercise more? Go to the gym more? Stop smoking? Eat healthier? And spend more time with your family? Those shoulds don't help you to get anywhere. They only imply that you are not good enough and just drain your energy because they come with a bad conscience and self-torture. Why am I not going to the gym? I am so bad. I will never lose weight, and so on and so forth. Make a list of all your shoulds and then forget it. What? Forget it? Yes, I'm not kidding. Forget it. If you have had a goal since last year and haven't done anything about it, then you are better off forgetting about it. If your goal is going to the gym and you didn't go for a year, let it go. With the goal, you also let go of the bad conscience and the self-punishment for not accomplishing it. Throw out all your shoulds and set some new goals. Stop doing things that you have to do and instead choose your goals. And very important substitute. I should and I have to with I choose to, I decided to, I will, and I prefer to. I choose to exercise more, I will eat healthier, I choose to read more. How does that feel? It's important that you enjoy your activity. If not, don't do them. Try out this little exercise. I have to blah 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 A. If I don't do blah 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 A, then B will happen. And if B, then C, and then D, and E, and then Z, I prefer A to Z. That's why I choose A. Action step. Make your list of shoulds and let go of them to or rephrase them to I choose to or this I decided to. Chapter 28. Face your fears. The fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. Paulo Coelho. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing which you think you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt. Don't let your fears frustrate you, limit you, or paralyze you. David Joseph Schwartz put it in this way. Do what your fear and your fear disappear. And Mark Twain already knew over 100 years ago that 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed with the things you didn't do than with the ones that you did. Or as one of my favorite saying goes, never regret the things you did, only those you never tried. So face these fears. 90% of them are pure imagination anyway. Illusions, incredible stories of drama and disaster that will probably never happen and are made up by your mind. The world's greatest director of soap operas. As T.H.R. Aker says, to keep you in your comfort zone, the only problem is that great things like development, growth, and success happen outside of the comfort zone. Fears are a survival mechanism of your mind. Your mind wants to keep you safe, and anything that your mind does not know scares it. I had many fears in my life and still do, but I learned to overcome them, and behind my fears, great opportunity waited for me. So I made it a habit to use my fear as a springboard. Just ask yourself, what's the most thing that can happen to me if I do this? Then evaluate if the risk is worth taking or not. Be careful, there is also a price for not taking a risk or stepping out of your comfort zone. Ask yourself, what price am I paying for staying the same or not doing this? Is it an even higher one than the price of taking the risk? This also includes intangible things like inner peace, happiness, health, and etc. Change your relationship with fear. Let it warn you and consult you, but don't let it paralyze you. For example, I used to be totally paralyzed by fear and stay stuck in my job for 5 years because of fear of change or the unknown. Nowadays, when I am invaded by fears on top, I think to myself, if there are so many top and fears, I must be on a good track. I better take actions. Try new thing and attempt the seemingly impossible. Ironically, it's the thing that you most fear that will be the most positive for your development and growth once you overcome them. Do the things you fear, make that call you don't want to make, send the email you don't want to send, ask the person you are afraid to ask and see what happens. When you notice fear, have a look at it, observe it, analyze it, but don't believe it. Instead, ask it, "Fear, my old friend, what are you doing here again? Do you want to warn me or do you want to paralyze me? What's your game? What are you afraid of? Failure, success, making mistakes, taking the wrong decision?" Do as Susan Jeffers says, feel the fear and do it anyway. If you want to reach the new territories, you have to take some risks and continuously do things that you are afraid of. Mistakes don't matter as long as you learn from them and don't make the same mistakes over and over again. The same goes for decision. By the way, not taking a decision or procrastinating is also a decision. Answer the following questions in your workbook or journal. 1. What is stopping you from living the life you want to live? 1. 2. What excuses are you making for justifying staying where you are? 3. What's the worst thing that can happen if you do what you are afraid of doing? Chapter 29. Eliminate everything that annoys you. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. Vincent van Gogh. It is not a mountain ahead that wear you out. It's a grain of sand in your shoe. Robert Service. This is usually one of the first exercises I do with my coaching clients. Everything that annoys you drains your energy. In coaching, we call it tolerations. For example, a missing button on your favorite shirt, the dirty shower curtain, a kitchen cupboard that does not close, your boss micromanaging you, money owed to you, a disorganized guest room, broken toilet, a messy and disorganized desk, clothes that don't fit anymore, are tolerations. For as long as you don't fix them, they keep draining your energy. As soon as you eliminate them, you will have more energy to concentrate on the things that move you forward. So, your exercise will be to make a list of all the things that annoy you in your private life, your job, your house, your friends, yourself, and etc. Don't get scared if you write down 50 to 100 things. It's normal. Once you write them all down, group them. Which ones are easy to handle? Which ones can you handle for now? Leave the ones that don't depend on you. Have a look at them after 2 or 3 weeks. The funny thing I have seen with my client is that some of the toleration that don't depend on you disappear on their own once you take care of the ones that you can handle. For example, my client Martina had a huge problem with a college at work. He really drained her energy. She worked on the toleration she could handle and the list got emptier. 3 months later, her colleague suddenly changed jobs and left the company. Now, was that just a coincidence or was it consequences of her working on her tolerations? I will leave the choice to you. Fact is that she is a lot happier at work now. Try it out for yourself and keep me posted. Action step. Make a list of all the things that annoy you in your private life, your job, your house, your friends, and yourself. Start working on it as described above. Chapter 30. Clean out your cupboard. Bottom line is, if you do not use it or need it, it's clutter and it needs to go. Cherry Seward. Do you want something new to come into your life? Do you ever notice that as soon as you get rid of some stuff and create space, the universe does not take long to fill the space again? It's all about energy. If you have too much stuff that you don't use in your house, it drains your energy. Coaching is about improving your whole environment, and that includes uncluttering. Start with your cupboard. Here are some tips if you haven't worn it for a year. You probably won't wear it anymore. When you think this will be useful one day, or this reminds me of a good times, out it goes. When I unclutter, I usually give stuff away for free. It just makes me feel better, and somehow I think little God or the universe will reward me for it. Once you are done with the cupboard, take on the whole bedroom, later move on to the living room, clean out your garage, and end up cleaning up your entire home and office. Get rid of everything that you don't use anymore: clothes, journals, books, CDs, even furniture, and so on. One of my clients uncluttered his whole apartment in 1 week. He felt so much better and lighter and got an energy boost that helped him to finish a whole bunch of his short-term goals. He never looked back. When will you start uncluttering? Action step. Schedule a weekend and get rid of everything you don't need anymore. Schedule the weekend now. Chapter 31. Uncluttering and tolerations go hand in hand. A real-life example. Clutter is nothing more than postponed decision. Barbara Hemphill. Uncluttering and toleration go hand in hand. I have here a real-life example of my client Lawrence, who described what happened during the process. When I went through the process of uncluttering my life, it was like I was creating a new sense of freedom for myself. Before I understood what cluttering is, I had been going through life picking up so many bad habits and discouraging thoughts along the way. They were not the type of habits like a vice, for example, smoking or drinking. They were more like a small relations that were seemingly insignificant to begin with. But as I gained more and more of them in my life and just accepted them as something I couldn't change, they grew heavier until I was very weighed down. This toleration made me feel like I was moving like a sloth. Things like procrastination, lack of sleep, not getting fulfillment from my work, getting used to take out food too often, beating myself up for not achieving more success. Somewhere along the way, I lost sight of my goals in life, and I just allowed this toleration to clutter things up to the point that I felt stuck. When my coach Mark introduced the idea of uncluttering to me, it was truly a revelation. I understood what it meant immediately, but I just didn't know why I was this way or how to fix it and climb out of the hole. With the tools that Mark helped to equip me with, I can now recognize my toleration and work on unloading them. I've identified the ones that I could tricky fix and have gotten rid of them. Fixing the window sill that wouldn't open, hanging up the paintings that I left in storage when I moved, replacing my old mattress that was not so comfortable. I also recognize the toleration that will take more time to resolve, and I work on them all the time, like challenging myself more at work and getting gratification from that productivity. I have written down all of them to keep track of and to hold myself accountable, and I write down new toleration as I identify them along the way, uncluttering the toleration in my life that were jumbled together in my mind and slowing me down, has made me feel like I am 10 times lighter now. I have more energy, more spirit, more enthusiasm, and as I unclutter the tolerations, I found that my physical surroundings became uncluttered as well. My apartment is cleaner and more open, so I feel like I'm in a clutter-free environment at home. Chapter 32. The most important hours. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. Ralph Waldo Emerson's. The most important hour of your day is composed of the 30 minutes after you wake up and the 30 minutes before you fall asleep. This is when your subconscious is very receptive, so it's a big importance what you do in this time. The way you start your day will have a huge impact on how the rest of your day develops. I'm sure you have had days which have started off on the wrong foot and from then on it got worse and worse, or the opposite where you woke up with that feeling that everything will go your way, and then it did. That's why it's very important to begin your day well. Most of us just get into a rush from minute one after waking up, and that's how our days unfold. No wonder most people run around stressed nowadays. What would getting up half an hour or an hour earlier every morning do for you? What if instead of hurrying and swallowing down your breakfast or even having it on the way to work, you get up and take a half an hour for yourself? Maybe you even create a little morning ritual with a 10 or 15-minute meditation. Do you see what this could do for your life if you made it a habit? Here are some activities for the morning ritual. Give it a shot. Think positive. Today is going to be a great day. Remember for 5 minutes what you are grateful for. 15 minutes of quiet time. Imagine that day that is about to start going very well. Watch a sunrise, go running or take a walk. Write in your journal. The last half an hour of your day has the same importance. The things you do in the last half an hour before sleeping will remain in your subconscious during your sleep. So then it's time to do the following. Write into your journal again. Now it's the time for reflecting on your day. What did you do great? What could you have done even better? Plan your day ahead. What are the most important things you want to get done tomorrow? Make a to-do list for the next day. Visualize your ideal day. Read some inspirational blogs, articles, or chapters of a book. Listen to music that inspires you. I highly recommend that you not watch the news or movies that agitate you before you are about to go to sleep. This is because when you are falling asleep, you are highly receptive to suggestions. That's why it's a lot more beneficial to listen or watch positive material. The planning ahead of your day and the list of things to do can bring you immense advantage and time saving. The thing you have to do will already be in your subconscious. Plus, you will get to work very focused the next day if you already know what your priorities are. Questions? How will your mornings and evening look from now on? Will you get up 30 minutes earlier and develop a little ritual? What will your last activities be before you go to sleep? Chapter 33. Find your purpose and do what you love. The purpose of life is not to be happy, it's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. One of the most important things along your life journey is the discovery of your purpose. So what exactly does that mean? It means doing what you love to do. Your answers to the questions, what would you do if success was guaranteed? Or what would you do if you had $10 million, 7 houses, and have traveled to all of your favorite destinations? Will lead you to your purpose. You spend more time at your job than with your loved ones. So, you better enjoy what you are doing. The 2013 Gallup, the State of the American Workplace Report, states that up to 70% of people are not happy at their work. 50% are not engaged, not inspired, and just kind of presenting, and around 20% have resigned internally and are actively disengaged. I was part of the 15% for 5 years and it was horrible. The worst thing was that I didn't even notice it. We all have great ideas and our dreams about what we could be, what we could have and do. What happened to your dreams? This is where the value exercise from chapter 16 comes into the picture. The ideal picture is to build your goals around those values and have a job which allow you to live according to your values. You don't have to rush into something new, but you can start doing more of the things you love. It sounds like jargon, but when you have found your purpose, things will start to fall into place. You will start to attract people, opportunities, and resources naturally. An incredible thing will start to happen. Nothing attracts success more than somebody who is doing what they love to do. My friend Yuni followed her hunch, dropped out of law school and started selling shoes at a big department store. She loved to help people and she loved shoes, so for her, the choice was obvious. She went with her gut, with her gut, even though people made fun of her. She was even called the female AI Bundy. Not a great compliment, but she didn't care about the jokes and went on to become the #1 saleswoman in the department store, selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shoes each year, taking Home Employee of the Year award one year after another and earning a decent salary. In fact, she does so well that the VIP client only want to be served by her. She enjoys every minute of her work. If you feel like you are driving without a roadmap or GPS and don't really know where to go, or if you never quite know what you are doing here and why, and you feel kind of lost and empty, then that's a sign that you have not found your purpose. But don't worry, that can be fixed in no time. You can find clues to your purpose by examining your values, skills, passion, ambition, and by taking a look at what you are good at. Here are some more questions that should help you. Have the courage to answer them to yourself and write them down. Nobody else but you can see the answer. Don't skip them. Like I did for 15 years, when I finally answered them, everything changed. Answer yourself the following questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Why do I exist? Why? What do I really want to do with my life? When do I feel fully alive? What were the highlights of my life? What am I doing when time flies by? What inspires me? What are my greatest strengths? What would I do if success was guaranteed? What would I do if I had $10 million, 7 houses, and had traveled all around the world? Action step. Watch the video What If Money Was No Object on YouTube. Chapter 34. Take a walk every day. An early morning walk is a blessing for a whole day. Henry David Thoreau. Whenever possible, go out and spend time around nature, take a walk and connect with it. Watch a sunset or a sunrise. If you are going for a run or a walk in the morning, you will surely say that Henry David Thoreau is right. Our rhythm of life has become so fast and so stressful that taking some time and walking through the woods can bring you down to earth and prove you with deep relaxation. Listen to the silence and enjoy it. Taking a walk is a great way to re-energize your body and your mind. A new Stanford study that just came out concludes that walking improves your creative thinking. When my wife had a hard time at work and was on the edge of bombing out, we started taking long walks for an hour and a half each day. That helped her to disconnect from her stressful workday, forget her anger of the day, and talk about and analyze her emotions. Due to this activity, she also fell asleep easier and had a better and more refreshing sleep at night. After only a week, she felt a lot better. Another advantage of the long walk was that she got tired, lowered her guard, and even started listening to what her husband had to say. When will you start walking 1 hour per day? Do it for 30 days and let me know how it feels. Chapter 35. What are your standards? I teach people how to treat me and by what I will allow. Stephen Covey expects and demand more from yourself and from those around you. If you really want to make a change in your life, you have to raise your standard. Have a zero tolerance policy for mediocrity, procrastination, and behavior that impedes your best performance. Your standards could be, for example, to always tell the truth, to always be punctual, to really listen to people until they are finished, and so on. Hold yourself to high standard, and what is of the same or even more important, set boundaries for those around you. Boundaries are things that people simply cannot do to you, like yelling at you, make stupid jokes around you, or disrespect you. Communicate clearly and make it a habit to address anything that bothers you on the spot. Remember what the proverb says: in the right tone you can say everything, in the wrong tone nothing. The art is to find the right tone. Practice saying things in a neutral tone of voice, like you would say, the sun is shining. If somebody is overstepping your boundaries, inform them. I didn't like that comment, or I don't like your talking to me in that one. If they go on, request them to stop. I ask you to stop talking to me like this. By now, most people should get it, but there are always one of or two that continue. If that happens, insist. I insist that you stop talking to me in that way. If all three steps don't have, leave. Walk away neutrally, stating I can have this conversation while you are. Let's talk later. Action steps. Write down the following things you will no longer accept in your life, all the behaviors you will no longer tolerate from others, all the things you want to become. Chapter 36. Adapt an attitude of gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. You will end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. Oprah Winfrey. Listen to Oprah, be grateful for what you have every day, and you will attract more things to be grateful for. Gratitude recharges you with energy and boosts your self-worth. It's directly linked to the physical and mental well-being. The attitude of gratitude leads you directly to happiness and is the best antidote to anger, envy, and resentment. Let it become part of your nature. Be grateful for what you have, for all the small things around you, and even for the things you don't have yet. Don't say, I will be grateful when, like I did for many years. Take the shortcut. Be grateful now, no matter what, and make gratitude a daily habit. Start the day by shaving thank you for what you have instead of complaining about what you don't have. This will have an immediate effect on your life. Focus on the good things that you can find every day. The following exercises are part of everyone and my coaching processes. Do them and observe what happens. Action steps. 1. Make a list of everything you have in your life that you are grateful for. Write down everything you can think of. And for 21 days, every day write 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for that day in your journal. Before going to sleep, relive the moments, relive the happiness. Chapter 37. The magic of visualization. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Peter Drucker. Visualization is a fundamental research in building experiences. The subconscious part of your brain cannot distinguish between a well-done visualization and reality. Your subconscious mind will be convinced that it's really happening. You will then be provided with motivation, opportunities, and the ideas that will help you to transform your life into the desired state. What am I saying? Can you practice sport by pure visualization? Well, actually you can. There are various studies that confirm the power of visualization. As early as in the 80s, Tony Robbins worked with the US Army and used visualization technique to dramatically increase pistol shooting performance. There have also been other studies done for improving free throw shooting percentage of basketball players using the same technique. The results were amazing. If you look closely at athletes, they all visualize their races and matches. Look at how skiers, Formula One drivers, golfers, tennis players, and even soccer players visualize in-game situations. Days and hours before the actual match, Jack Nicklaus, Wayne Gretzky, and Greg Louganis, to name a few, are known to have achieved their goals with visualization. In coaching, we use visualization technique with goals. See yourself as already having achieved the goal. See it through your own eyes and put all your sense in it. Smell it, hear it, feel it, taste it. The more emotion you put into it, the more of an impact it will have. If you do this for 15 minutes every day, over time you will see enormous results. Make time for your daily visualization, either in your morning ritual or in the evening before going to bed. It can be helpful to make a collage of images that represent your goal and a 3-sheet of cardboard board and put it up in your bedroom or somewhere where you can see it. Buy some journals and cut out the photos that represent your goals. You could also create a screensaver of various photos on your computer or desktop. If your goal is wealth, put a photo of your dream house, a photo of dollar bills, or whatever wealth means to you. If you search for vision board on Google, you will surely find a lot of examples. Look at your college every day, 5 minutes after getting up and 5 minutes before going to bed, and imagine yourself vividly with your goal already accomplished. Chapter 38. What if? Our expectancies not only affect how we see reality but also affect the reality itself. Dr. Edward E. Jones always expects the best. Life does not always give you what you want, but it sure gives you what you expect. Do you expect success, or do you spend most of your time worrying about failure? Our expectations about ourselves and others come from our subconscious belief, and they have an enormous impact on our achievement. Your expectation influences your attitude, and your attitude has a lot to do with your success. Your expectation also affects your willingness to take action and all your interactions with others. Many of us know all of this, and yet most of us expect negative outcomes when asking one of the favorite questions of the mind, the questions what if. By asking it, we are often focused on what does not work. What if it does not work out? What if she does not go out with me? What if I don't get a job? What if I don't get the rise? What if I lost my job? However, neither does that feel good, nor is it good to focus on what we fear. Why not turn this around and ask yourself for every limiting or negative thought? What if the opposite is true? What if it works out great? What if says yes? What if I get a raise? What if I become a millionaire with this idea? What if I find a resource? What if I can make it happen? What if now is the time? What if this little book helped me change my life for real? The single judgment in how you ask a question transforms your energy, and the answer you get. It changes your thinking and your inner dialogue. Suddenly you start asking what if up questions in your head rather than what if don't questions. The benefits of shifting your thinking will be less stress, fear, and anxiety. You will feel more peaceful. Your energy level will go up. It allows you to be the inventor of your own experience. Try it out. How did you feel just now reading it? Write a list of all your fears and negative what if, and then turn it around. Chapter 39. Let go of the past. We must be willing to let go of the life we have planned, so as we have the life that is waiting for us. Joseph Campbell. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I have, I receive what I need. Tao Te Ching. Every moment you spend in your past is a moment you steal from your present and future. Stop reliving your drama. Don't hang onto it. Let go of it. Only if you have the courage to let go of the old can you be open to new things entering your life. Don't waste your time thinking of things that could or should have happened or that didn't work out as you wanted in the past. It doesn't make sense. You can change it. Remember to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. If you focus on situations that don't work out in the past, you might attract more of these situations. Learn from your past experiences and move on. That's all you have to do from now on. Easy, isn't it? Concentrate on what you want to do well in the future and not what went wrong in the past. You need to let go of the past so that you are free and new things can come into your life. Let go of old baggage, finish unfinished business, and get closer with people. Deepak Chopra is right when he says, I use memories, but I will not allow memories to use me. Complete the past so that you can be free and enjoy the present. From now on, adopt the mindset that you will always finish your business. Don't leave anything incomplete in your relationship, work, and all other areas. Keep moving forward. Action step. What is incomplete in your life? Make a list and work on it. Chapter 40. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate what you want to see more of. Thomas Peters, On Your Way. forward to changing your life and reaching your goal, it's also important to be aware of your progress. Stop every now and then and celebrate your wins. Celebrate that you are better than you were last week. Don't let your small victories go unnoticed. During this work with my client, one of their consistent tasks is to celebrate their small wins. Every action step completed is worth celebrating. For example, exercise in this book that you complete to reward yourself. Buy yourself something you always wanted. Go to the movies. Do whatever feels good for you. If you learn new habits and see great improvement, go on a short trip. You earn it. What will you reward yourself with for your progress so far? Will you have a spa day or a nice dinner? Will you go for a walk? Write it down. Chapter 41. Be happy now. Happiness is the meaning and purpose of life. Aristotle. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. Happiness is also a choice. It's an inner state, not an external state. Happiness is a habit, a state of mind. Happiness is so many things. But the decisive and most important thing is, what is happiness to you? You can be happy right now. You don't believe me? Okay, close your eyes for a moment. Think of a situation that made you really, really, really happy. Relive this situation in your mind. Feel it, smell it, hear it. Remember the excitement and joy. And how did it feel? Did it work? How are you feeling now? Happiness does not depend on your car, your house, or anything in the outside world. You can be happy right here, right now. Don't miss out on the small pleasure of life while you go after the big ones. Enjoy the beauty around you. Enjoy the small thing. Don't postpone life until you win the lottery or retire. Do the fun thing now with what you have. Live each day fully as if it were your last. Start by being happy now. Smile as much as you can, even if you are not in the mood, because by smiling you are sending positive signal to your brain. Fun and humor are essential for a good long life, job satisfaction, personal fulfillment, personal relationship, and life balance. So laugh lots and have lots of fun. Which of these reasons do you have right now for being happy? You have a great job, you love my work, you have a great kids, you have a great partner, you have a great parents, you are free. Questions. What is happiness for you? Be specific. How many smiles have you gifted last week? How many smiles have you received? Action steps. Remember the moment that made you the most happy in your life. Write down at least 5 moments that made you feel exceptionally great. And relive this moment with all their emotion and happiness. How does it feel? Chapter 42. Multitasking is a lie. Most of the time, multitasking is an illusion. You think you are multitasking, but in reality, you are actually wasting time switching from one task to another. Postcode chant. Do one thing at a time. The newest studies show that multitasking is actually less productive than doing things at a time with a concentrated effort. Some studies even imply that it makes you slower and careful now, dumber. Even you think you are multitasking, you are actually doing one thing at the time, are not you? You might have 5 tasks on your hands, but I'm sure you don't do all 5 things at the same time. You are writing an email, you stop writing it and take a phone call. You hang up and continue writing the email. A colleague comes to you with the questions. You stop writing your email and answer the question and also on. So forget about multitasking. Focus on doing one thing at a time and do it with concentrations. Chapter 43. Simplify your life. Life is real simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Confucius. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but the schedule you prioritize. Stephen Covey, if you started applying some of the things that you have learned until now in this book, your life should already be a little simpler. Did you unclutter, clean out your cupboard, get rid of some tolerations? Did you get rid of some of the people that drag you down? It was Stephen Covey who said that most of us spend too much time on what is urgent and not enough time on what is important. Do you know your priorities, or are you just floating around handling whatever comes up? extinguishing fires all the time. Maybe it's time to make some time for the really important stuff in your life. A huge step towards simplifying your life is to concentrate on the important, on the activities that make sense for you, and find a way to eliminate or downsize the other activity. This can be done by automating, delegating, eliminating, or hiring help. If you want to do everything, in the end you will get nothing done. Is your schedule too busy? Do you have too many commitments? Simplifying is about downsizing your life and learning to live with less. What can you downsize? Do you own too many clothes and items? Are you spending too much time cooking? Why not get help or just prepare simpler meals? Which of the family can support you? Can you simplify your financial life by online banking? Why not pay everything in cash and buy only things you really need? What about your online life? Do you spend too much time on social media or instant messaging? Then it might be time to get a little bit more disciplined. Set fixed time for when you are online and stick to them. Put a timer if necessary. Unclutter the desktop on your PC and your email inbox. My client Mark did this, and virtual uncluttering had the same effect on him as physical uncluttering. He let go of a big weight that he was carrying around and hence got a lot more energy. Check your emails only at certain times during the day and turn off the tone of email and text delivery so that you are not distracted all the time. Now is also a good time to unsubscribe from journals that are just pulling up and that you never reach, and to ask yourself if you really need to read 3 different newspapers every day. Are you commuting to work? Maybe you can ask your boss to work from home once or twice a week. Are you working too many hours? See if you teach chapters on time management and getting organized in this book can help you to reduce your working time and find more time to do the things you love. And do yourself a favor. Don't bring your work home, not physically and not even mentally. If you didn't get it done at work, examine your working habit and change them if possible. This is extremely important. Stop thinking about working when you are at home. Worrying about something that can be changed at the moment is waste energy. Think about what you can do about it tomorrow at work and forget about it for now. Questions? Where do you see the excess in your life? Do you have too many things you don't need or use? Is your schedule always booked? Do you have time in your schedule for yourself and the thing you enjoy doing? What are the most important tasks in your day-to-day life? Which of these tasks can be easily delegated, automated, or eliminated?